Got my first negative comment over the weekend. And it got me thinking about when I figured out that people are programmed differently, are raised differently, and that everyone doesn't have the same experience. For me, I've shut myself down at a young age as a way to protect myself emotionally. And over the years it just numbed me. And because I was a lanky young kid, or just a wimp, you know easily bullied, I learned how to read people, how to understand people in a way that I can use it to protect myself. So for any reason then besides protecting myself, it didn't register for me. It was selfish on my part because everything I knew in life, everything I've learned or I've taught myself was to protect me, to protect my being. Learning to connect to other people wasn't part of my being. It wasn't something that I earned. I got rid of wanting to connect with people emotionally at a young age. I'd say before I was even 10, way before I was even 10, I disconnected myself and refused to recognize people's emotions and felt the need to connect with people emotionally. And it wasn't until the recent years did I start processing everything. And it wasn't until last year that I understood why it was hard for me to communicate to my wife. It was hard for me to feel or to connect with my family on that level. It's still a healing process for me, as far as it goes right now. Yeah, I know some people feel like, oh damn, you didn't figure it out, but it is what it is. We all learn differently. And I understood that a few years back. I don't know what it was, but I realized that people don't learn or understand on the same level as I do on certain things. And I understood that they didn't know any better. That that's that's the environment they were brought up in. That's who they are. And there's nothing I can do to change them. It'll only happen once they realize it. Once it clicks with them, then they will change if it's something that they deem worthy of changing for. I started replying right away. I got that comment. I was like, started texting. And then I stopped midway. I was like, I'm not going to feed into that energy. I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to reply in defense of myself when I know most likely that person will not be willing or is not willing to have the open mind to understand that. If they took the time to put that negative comment the way that they put it, it tells me that they do not have, or they're not in a place of understanding. They're not in a place of open-mindedness to understand my reply. So I just deleted it. And then I decided from here on out, any negative comments that'll be posted on my platform or anything negative, I'm just going to erase. I'm not going to give it any attention or energy. There's enough of negativity and, I don't need to feed into it. That's what's been on my mind, for the last day or so. And I want to say thank you for everybody that's been commenting, the subscribers, the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. As I start getting more comfortable, I have, different ideas of what content to do. But I do want to stay on subject about fatherhood, that role in the family. But I also have to remind myself that this is me learning out loud. This is me processing everything and just documenting it. Rather it helps somebody down the line, I hope that it does. I hope that people do not have to learn the hard way like I did. And if you see this and it helps you, then we're in a good spot. But that's it for me. Thank you very much. Till next one. You guys have a good one. Easy.